change your thinking, change your life. A story of Buddha, the young seeker. Long ago, in the kingdom of Magadha, there lived a young man named Jayan. He was the son of a wealthy merchant, surrounded by luxury and comfort. Yet, despite having everything, Jayan was restless. His mind was filled with doubts, anger, and frustration. He often wondered why, despite having wealth and power, he felt unhappy. One day, he heard that the Buddha was visiting a nearby village. The people spoke of his wisdom and how he taught a path to peace and happiness. Desperate for answers, Jayan decided to seek him out. Meeting the Buddha, Jayan arrived at the monastery where the Buddha was teaching. As he entered, he saw people from all walks of life: farmers, merchants, monks, and even kings listening attentively. The Buddha noticed Jayan's troubled expression and invited him to speak. Master, Jayan said, I have everything: wealth, comfort, and power. Yet my mind is never at peace. I feel lost, angry, and anxious. Why is this happening to me? The Buddha smiled and replied, Your suffering is caused by your own thoughts. If you change your thinking, you will change your life. Jayan was confused. But how can mere thoughts shape my life? I cannot control them. The Buddha gently picked up a cup and showed it to Jayan. If I hold this cup tightly for a minute, will it hurt my hand? No, master, Jayan answered. And if I hold it for an hour? My hand will start to ache. And if I hold it all day? My hand will go numb and I will be in pain. Jayan admitted. The Buddha nodded. This cup is like your thoughts. If you hold on to negative thinking, anger, fear, and doubt, it will bring you suffering. Let go and you will find peace. The transformation begins. Jayan realized that his suffering was not caused by external circumstances but by his own mind. He decided to stay at the monastery for a while to learn from the Buddha. His first lesson was mindfulness, to observe his thoughts without judgment. Each morning he sat in meditation, watching his thoughts rise and fall like waves in the ocean. At first, it was difficult. His mind was restless, filled with regrets of the past and worries about the future. But with patience, he began to understand that thoughts were like passing clouds. He did not have to hold on to them. The Buddha also taught him about compassion and gratitude. When you fill your mind with kindness, there is no space for anger or fear, he said. Jayan started practicing small acts of kindness, helping others, speaking gently, and being grateful for what he had. Slowly, he noticed a change within himself, facing the test. One day, a man from Jayan's past arrived at the monastery. It was a rival merchant who had once betrayed Jayan in business. The sight of him filled Jayan with anger. Old feelings of revenge surfaced in his mind. Seeing this, the Buddha said, A person's true strength is not measured by how much wealth he has, but by how well he controls his mind. Jayan realized that if he reacted with anger, he would only continue the cycle of suffering. Instead, he chose forgiveness. He greeted his rival with kindness, surprising the man, who apologized for his past actions. At that moment, Jayan understood the true meaning of the Buddha's teachings. He had changed his thoughts, and in doing so, he had changed his life. A new life, Jayan returned home as a transformed man. His family and friends noticed the difference. He was calmer, happier, and no longer burdened by worry or anger. Instead of chasing wealth, he focused on living with wisdom and kindness. Word spread about Jayan's transformation, and many people came to him for guidance. He shared what he had learned. 1. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you think negatively, you will suffer. If you think positively, you will find peace. 2. Let go of anger and fear. Holding on to them is like holding a burning coal. It only hurts you. 3. Practice mindfulness. Observe your thoughts without judgment, and you will gain control over your mind. 4. Be kind and grateful. A heart full of kindness has no space for negativity. Jayan's life was no longer ruled by external circumstances. He had found true happiness, not in wealth, but in a peaceful mind, and so he lived with wisdom, following the path the Buddha had shown him, changing his thinking and in turn, changing his life.